How are you guys? Is everyone good? So today we'll be doing a GCSE past paper, which is going to be higher. We'll be doing the higher tier today. So it's a past paper. So GCSE higher tier, paper 1, non-calculator, okay? So you can find this test on Math Genie if you want to follow along with me. Okay, so we're going to start right now. So question number 1 is we need to work out the value of 3 to the power of 7 times 3 to the power of negative 2 divided by 3 to the power of 3. So we're going to be using the rule of indices or powers. So whenever we're multiplying powers, we add the powers. So over here, we're doing 3 to the power of 7 times 3 to the power of negative 2. Now, whenever we're multiplying powers, we add the powers. So 7 plus negative 2 would be 3 to the power of 5. Okay? Now we're going to do 3 to the power of 5 divided by 3 to the power of 3. It's going to subtracting the power is going to be 3 to the power of 2. And that would be your answer, 3 to the power of 2. Okay? Now, question number 2 is v squared is equal. Okay, how do I do the last one? So 3 to the power of 5. 3 to the power of 5 divided by 3 to the power of 3. If you do this one, right, by 3 to the power of 3, whenever we're dividing, can you have to divide it and then you have to subtract the powers. We'll get 3 to the power of 2, okay? So we need to work out the value of v. We need to work out the value of v. So this is our equation here. So first step, we need to substitute all the values into this equation. So it's going to be v squared is equal to 12 squared. It's going to be 12 squared plus which is going to be equal to 9, okay? It says the value of that's going to 3 squared is equal to 9, okay? Okay? Plus then the 2, and then a is going to be minus 3, and then 18. Okay? Now once we have done this, now you have to do the actual. You have to do 12. We're going to do 12 times 12 is going to be 144. So v squared is equal to 144. It's plus 2 times negative 57, because minus 3 times 18 is going to be negative 57. And then we'll simplify this even more to v squared is equal to 144 minus 108. And then you'll get v squared is equal to 36. And then v is equal to 6. Okay? Just like that. Is this foundation? This is higher paper. This is the higher paper. Make S the subject of v squared is equal to u squared plus 2as. Now, we write it down, so we're going to get v squared is equal to u squared plus 2as. This is 2018, higher tier, paper 1, okay? Now, once we've done this, when we write this, now we need to make v on our own. make S on our own, because we have to make S the subject. We're trying to make S the subject, so we need to put S on our own. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move this u squared over here. So we're going to get v squared minus u squared is equal to 2as. And then you divide by 2a. So you get v. So we get v squared minus u squared divided by 2a is equal to s. And then you put s is equal to v squared minus u squared divided by 2a. And that'll be your answer, okay? Now we're going to move on to question number 3. A bonus of 2,100 is shared by 10 people who work for a company. 40% of the bonus is shared equally between 3 managers. The rest of the bonus is shared equally between 7 salesmen. One of the salesmen says, if the bonus is shared equally between all 10 people, I will get 25% more money. Is the salesman correct? Is the salesman correct? So first of all, if we need to calculate how much each person gets, okay? How much each person gets. So the salesman is wrong. Yes, he is wrong, but I need to put our working out. So first of all, let's calculate what will everyone, if it's shared equally between all those 10 people. Let's see what we will get. So if we divide 2,100 divided by 10 equally, then we will get £210 each. If they did it equally, okay? Each person will get £210 each. Now, we can look at this and we will put that salesman can get 60% of the 2,100, okay? So the salesman gets 60% of the 2,100 because the managers get 40%, okay? So 50%, if we do it in our head, 50% will be £1,050, and 10% will be 210. Yeah, and now what we're going to do is that we're going to put 60%, and you'll get 1,260. Just like that, okay? Now it works out 60%. Now this is the total amount that the salesman will share them between. Okay? So we have to do 1,260 divided by 7. 1,260 divided by 7, so we can get how much each salesperson gets. So 1,260 divided by 7, we'll do 7 divided by 1,260, our bus stop method, and we'll get 180. Put it like that. So then, now each salesman, okay, I spelled salesman wrong. Each salesman gets £180. Now, if they shared it equally, as we already worked out, if they shared it equally, they would get £30 more, right? They would get £30 more. So, if shared equally, they will get £30 more. So we need to use our percentage change formula. Okay, so we're going to do 30 over 180 times by 100, which we're going to be the same as 1/6 times 100, which is going to be 16.6 recurring percent more. Now, is he correct? He said he will get 25% more. So he is not correct. The answer is no. Okay? The answer is no. Does everyone understand? Okay. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 4. It would take 120 minutes to fill a swimming pool using water from 5 taps. How many minutes will it take to fill the pool if only 3 of the taps are used? Okay? How much will it take? So if we do 120 times 5, it's going to be 600, right? Now this is 600 minutes. This is the time, 600 minutes, the time it would take for one tap. Okay, this is the time it would take for one tap, 600 minutes. Okay? Now I'm going to work out how much it takes 3 taps. So I'm going to do 600 divided by 3, and you get 200. So that you'll get 200 minutes. Okay? Now state one assumption you made in the working out your answer to part A. What's the assumption you made? So what would be the assumption you made? So the okay, how is 4 wrong then? So we need to state one assumption. You need to state one assumption that you made in working out your answer into part A. The assumption we made is each tap has the same flow rate. Tap has the same flow rate. Okay? Just like that. Okay? Now, each tap will have the same flow rate, and that will be our assumption. Okay? Now, question number 5 is a plane travels at a speed of 213 miles per hour. Work out an estimate for the number of seconds the plane would take to travel 1 mile. Now, an estimate, we will round this to one significant figure, so we'll put this as 200. This will be 200, okay, to one significant figure. So we're estimating, right? So he will travel in 1 mile. How much he would travel? So he would travel 200 miles. We know that he would travel 200 miles in 1 hour. The plane will travel 200 miles in 1 hour if it goes at this speed, right? That means it will travel 200 miles in 60 minutes, because 1 hour is the same as 60 miles. I just converted this, okay? So that would be the same as 200 miles in 3,600 seconds, because I just converted the minutes into seconds, and you'll get 200 miles is traveled in 3,600 seconds. Now we need to work out how many seconds it takes to travel 1 mile. What do? Is that first of all, what I would do, we're gonna divide by 100. So we're gonna divide by 100. We'll get 2 miles. He will travel 2 miles in 36 seconds, meaning he will travel 1 mile in 18 seconds. And that would be our answer, 18 seconds. So for this question, you just need to put all your work in now, and then you'll get your answer. So is your answer to part A an underestimate or a overestimate? So it's going to be an overestimate because the distance we did over here, the distance that we rounded it down, so it's going to be an overestimate, okay? We rounded the distance down, okay? So question number 6, solve the simultaneous equation. We need to solve the simultaneous equation. So can anyone tell me what method will we use? Will we use elimination or are we going to use the substitution method? So for this question, me personally, I would use the elimination method. I will use the elimination method. So 5x plus y is equal to 21, right? And then x minus 3y is equal to 9. Now, we need to make one of the variables the same. So we'll times this equation by 5 so we can make the x's the same value. Okay? So we'll get, if you multiply this by 5, we'll get 5x minus 15y is equal to 45. Now we're going to write this again. We're going to get 5x plus y is equal to 21. And then 5x minus 15y is equal to 45. We just changed the second set of equation, okay? Now, once we have done that, we are going to use the elimination method to subtract it out. So we're going to cancel these out. So we're going to minus it. So minus it out there. So when we do 5x minus 5x, you would get you would cancel it out, so there will be nothing there. And then we need to do y minus negative 15y, because you will get 16y, because 2 negative will give us a positive, which will be 16y equal to minus 24. Now once you've done that, you will get answer y is equal to negative 1.5. Okay? Can you repeat, please? I don't understand anything. So whenever we're using simultaneous equations and we're solving with the elimination method, you want to make one of the variables the same for both of the equations. So they made for the second equation, we made the x the same, so we multiplied by 5. To the whole equation, we multiplied by 5, so we made x the same, so we multiplied by 5. When we multiply by 5, this equation right here, we made 5x minus 15y is equal to 45. Now x is the same for both of the equation. And then once you have done that, now you subtract them. You'll cancel out the variables that are the same, which is 5x minus 5x will give us 0. They will cancel out. And then you will do y minus 15y. Minus will give us a plus, so we'll do plus 15 will give us 16y. And then 21 minus 45 will give us negative 24. And then you will divide by 16 and you will get y is equal to minus 1.5. So now you have found the value of y. You have found the value of y. Now what you just need to do is that you need to substitute 1.5 minus 1.5 into one of those equations to find the value of x. I would use this equation right here. So 5x minus 1.5 is equal to 21. Okay? Is this a calculator question? This is not a calculator question. This is a non-calculator paper. So I'm just going to write y is equal to minus 1.5 here. Now, 5x minus 1.5 is equal to 21. We're going to add 1.5. We're going to get 5x is equal to 22.5. Now we'll divide by 5 and we'll get x is equal to 22.5 over 5. And then you will get x is equal to 4.5. Just like that. Okay? Now we're going to move on to question number 7. This one right here. So is everyone ready? So the diagram shows a square ABCD with sides of length 20 centimeters. It also shows a semicircle and an arc of a circle. Now, AB is the diameter of the semicircle. AC is the arc of a circle with center B. Show that the area of the shaded region divided by the area of the square is equal to pi divided by 8. We need to show. Now, this is a long question, but as long as you understand everything, you will get it correct. So first of all, our first step is going to be, we need to find our total area. So total area of this square. So total area of the square, the total area of the square will be 20 times 20, because it's going to be 20 as well. It's going to give us 400 centimeter cubed. Now we need to find the area of the quarter circle. What I mean by quarter circle, I mean by this circle right here, this circle right here, this circle, not the semicircle, this circle right here, including the semicircle, by the way. So how you would do it is very simple. So we're going to do pi r squared, but we're going to divide it by 4, okay? Pi r squared, but we're going to divide by 4. So area of a quarter circle of the quarter circle is equal to pi, and then the radius will be 20, because since this is basically a circle, this is a circle, then this is going to be the radius. 20 is going to be radius, 20, then squared divided by 4. And then we'll simplify this to, we're going to get 100 pi centimeter squared when we simplify this. Now I need to find the area of the semicircle. So the area of the semicircle, so isn't the radius 10? Now, that is when people get confused. Once people get confused in this, because we are trying to find the radius of the quarter circle. Now, this is the quarter circle right here. And if I continue to draw this, let me quickly draw this out so you guys can understand it. Why it isn't 10, but it's 20 instead. When you do this, when you draw it out, the circle will look something like this. Because that is the quarter circle. It's something like this, okay? Because like this is quarter of the circle. I think I did it a bit too big for you guys to understand. But when you do it, you will get like something like this, and that's going to be the quarter circle. I can't really draw a circle right now, but it's going to be like that, okay? Now I need to find the area of the semicircle, which is going to be pi, and then 10 squared. Now the area of the semicircle, the radius of the semicircle is 10. Okay, it's 10. Okay, it's 10. And then 10 squared divided by 2, because the semicircle is split into 2 parts. And then we simplify this, you'll get to 50 pi centimeter cube. Okay? Now, once we have done that, now the shaded area, this shaded area, as you can see, is going to be the quarter circle subtract the semicircle, okay? So the shaded area is equal to quarter circle minus the semicircle. That's going to be 100 pi minus 50 pi, because we got 100 for the quarter circle and 50 for the semicircle, and then you end up with 50 pi centimeter squared. Okay? Now, once we have done that, now we need to prove it. Okay? We need to prove this. Now, the area of the shaded region is 50, right? So area is area of shaded region divided by area of square. Let me move it down. Area of square is equal to the area of the shaded region is 50, right? 50 pi. And then the area of the square is 400. When you simplify, you will get pi and then 8. Okay? Pi and 8. And let's see, is it correct? Is it showing it? Yes, it is. As you can see, we got pi is equal to 8. Okay? So does everyone understand? If you guys just joined, after this live ends, I will post this live on my YouTube channel. So after this live ends, you can go to my YouTube channel and you can go through it again, okay? The link will be in the bio. It's the same name as my TikTok. The name of the topic is like area of the circles. Area of circles, but like more complicated. You just have to apply the areas. Okay? So, question number 8. We need to write down the exact value of tan 45. So does anyone know what's going to be the exact value of tan 45 then? Okay. I'm getting lots of different answers. You cannot use a calculator. This is a non-calculator paper. Yes. It's going to be 1. Its value is exactly 1. Okay? Now, here is a right-angled triangle. Cos 60 degrees is equal to 0.5. Work out the value of x. As you can see, we're going to be using, we'll be doing trigonometry. So we'll be doing so, car, so this is the acronym. This is the acronym you're going to be using for trigonometry. So does anyone know what ratio are we going to be? Are we going to be using sine, cos, or tan? For this specific question, what are we going to be using? And remember, this is the hypotenuse. This is the hypotenuse, and this is the adjacent. So be careful which one you choose. Yes, you'll be using cos, because the adjacent and the hypotenuse are involved in this triangle. And as you can see, in this ratio, we have the adjacent and the hypotenuse. So our formula is our equation that we're going to be using is going to be cos 60 degrees, because that's the angle, is equal to 4 divided by x, adjacent divided by the hypotenuse. Okay? So once you have done that, we know that cos 60 is 0.5, so we're going to put 0.5 is equal to 4 divided by x. And then you'll multiply, you would want to multiply by x to get rid of this here. So you're going to do 0.5, 0.5 x is equal to 4, and then you divide by 0.5 and you get x is equal to 8. The answer is 8. And that is how you would do this trigonometry question. To be honest, the examiners were actually being quite nice because they gave you the value of cos 60. But yeah. So, question number 9. The times that 48 trains left a station on Monday were recorded. The cumulative frequency graph gives information about the numbers of minutes the trains were delayed, correct to the nearest minute. The shortest delay was 0 minutes. The longest delay was 42 minutes. Okay? On the grid below, draw a box plot for the information about the delays on Monday. Draw a box plot. About the delays on Monday. So what we need to do, so the shortest delay was 0. So we put a line over here at 0. And then the longest delay was 42. So you put a line over here at 42. And now after we've done, does anyone know after what do we do? Does anyone know what do we do after this? Does anyone know what we do after this? Yes, you would find the median. So the 20, if you draw a line here, 20 will be about 36, 10 will be 24, and then 5 will be about 5 over here. Yes, you would do the lower quartile and upper quartile. About there. My lines are a bit wonky, but you know what I mean. And then you just represent this over here as a box. So basically what I just did over here, I just did do it over here. So I go up to here and then I draw a box up to the 10 like that, and then I do it again up to 20. Now it's supposed to be something like this, but since um I'm on a computer, it looks kind of bad. But you're supposed to be using a ruler. Okay. Now, 48 trains left the station on Tuesday. The box plot below gives information about the total delays on Tuesday. Now, if I go down here, compare the distribution of delays on Monday with the distribution of the delays on Tuesday. Now, if we compare this, we can if you compare this, you can see that the median delay was greater on Monday. The median delay was greater on Monday, as you can see, because it's a bit back. So the median delay, this is not A-level maths, this is GCSE higher. The median delay was greater on Monday, and the interquartile range on the interquartile range on Tuesday was lower. Now, so Mary says the longest delay on Tuesday was 33 minutes. This means that there must be some delays between 25 minutes and 30 minutes. So is Mary correct? So Mary is not correct, obviously. Now, I'm not going to write a reason for this, as my handwriting gets a bit bad, as you can see. So I hope you guys know the reason. So we're going to go to question number 10. We need to simplify this. Who knows how to simplify this? It's actually very simple. Now, basically, we can factorize this x minus 1. This we can factorize this to 1 x minus 1, right? You factorize it. And then you can put this as double brackets. So we'll get 1 x minus 1, and then 5 x minus 1, and then x minus 1, like that. Just put it in normal double brackets, and then this we factorize. And then, as you can see, we can cancel them out, cancel this and cancel this out, and then you'll be left with 1 is over 5x minus 1, just like that. Now we need to factorize fully 50 minus 2y squared. Does anyone know how to do this? The first step we need to do is that we take out the 2, so we get 25 minus y squared. Now, after we've done this, you'll notice that we have a difference of 2 squares. Then we can put this at double brackets. Then we'll get, so basically, if a, so yeah, so we can put that as double brackets, so we'll get 5 plus y, and then 5 minus y, and then you'll put it as that. Okay? 2, 5 plus y, and then 5 minus y. Okay. Question number 11. Jack and Sadia work for a company that sells boxes for breakfast cereal. The company wants to have a special offer. Here is Jack's idea for the special offer. Put 25% more cereal into each box and do not change the price. Here is Sadia's idea. Reduce the price and do not change the amount of cereal in each box. Sadia wants her idea to give the same value for money as Jack's idea. What percentage does she need to reduce the price? What percentage does she need to reduce the price? So now what we can look at this as is that we know that 125% will be for this first idea, right? For the money. So I'll put it as P, okay? So 100, if you do 100% plus the 25%, so basically Jack what 125% of money, okay? Now 25% will be 0.2p. I did p is just a variable, guys. I just put it as a variable because then we can do it easily. So 0.2p is because we divided by 0.2, obviously. And then to get 100%, you will get 100%. You will get 0.8p then times by 4. And then we can just work out. We have 80% of the price, 20% reduction, okay? You get 80% of the price, 80% of the price, 20% reduction. We just found out by doing some logical maths. And then what percentage you need to reduce the price? 20%, okay? How long is this live? It depends on how fast we finish this paper, okay? So, next question number 12. A, B, and C are points on the circumference of a circle. Now, DAE is the tangent to the circle at A. Angle BAE is equal to 56 degrees. And then angle CBO is equal to 35 degrees. And then work out the size of the angle CAO. You must show all your working. So what size are we trying to find? We're trying to find angle CAO. CAO is this angle right here. This angle right here, we're trying to find CAO. We're trying to find this angle right here. Okay? Now, how do you find it? So, what would the most sensible thing to do would be to find this angle over here. So we can easily find. So if we're going to use our circle theorems. So angle ACB is equal to 56 degrees. Now why? So where's angle ACB? ACB. So this angle right here will be equal to 56 degrees because alternate segment theorem. Because of the alternate segment theorem. Alternate segment theorem. Okay? So what does alternate segment theorem means? So it's a type of theorem you need to know for your exams. So basically what it means that these two angles are alternate to each other. They're alternate to each other. So this will be equal to each other, okay? Don't worry what it means, but you just I was going through this through my live yesterday, by the way. But that is just a theorem you need to remember. Now OCB will be equal to OCB will be equal to 35 degrees because angles at the base, so this angle right here, OCB, this angle right here, so if I quickly draw this out, that's not good. Now, so if I use a different color pen, so this angle right here, it makes a triangle, it makes an isosceles triangle. And this angle right here will be equal to 35 degrees because of this is an isosceles, okay? So you're going to put angles at the base of the isosceles triangle are equal. Angles at the base of an isosceles is equal. And then once you have done that, you'll subtract them. So you find that OCA. So OCA, where's OCA? So OCA, this angle right here will be equal to 21 degrees, because if you do 56 minus 55, it will be equal to 21 degrees. Now, since this is an isosceles triangle, then this will also be equal to 21 degrees. So this is OCA. Then CAO will also be equal to 21 degrees, because they are isosceles triangle, and angles at the base of an isosceles triangle are equal. The answer is 21 degrees. Okay, so if you guys don't really understand, I'll quickly show you here. Now, if I draw this makes an isosceles triangle. This makes an isosceles triangle, and an isosceles triangle has angles at the base which are the same. This will be 35 degrees, right? As you can see, we can work this out. As you can see, you knew that this was 56, right? You knew this whole angle is 56 degrees. Now we can just work it out by subtracting 56 by 56 minus 35, and you will get 21 degrees. And then since this is an isosceles triangle, this will be equal to 21 degrees as well. Okay, and that's how we get 21 degrees. So let's move on to question number 13. Describe fully the single transformation that maps triangle A to triangle B. So what would be that transformation? So you guys already probably know that it's gonna be an enlargement. So we need to, first of all, we know it's going to be an enlargement. Now we need to figure out what is going to be the center. It's going to be a center of enlargement. We need to figure that out. And we also need to figure out the scale factor. That is what is going to give you the full 2 marks. Now it says the full transformation that maps triangle A onto triangle B. So we go from A to B. So we are decreasing, okay? Okay? So we're going to go from A to B. So we are going to quickly, this line is this line over here. So this is not. Now, also you need to remember that these two triangles are flipped. These two triangles are flipped. So you are right, it's -3, but it's going to be it's going to be -1/3. Okay? Yes, you connect them to find the center. So we found out the scale factor. The scale factor is going to be equal to -1/3. It's because it decreases by 1/3. If you do 1/3, it's going to be decrease, and it's going to shrink in size. But as you can see, it flips. It's not directly the same thing. It flips. So it's the opposite. So we do negative. We add a negative in front of it. Add needs to be a fraction. And to find the center, what we need to do is that we need to connect them up. So this angle will go to here. This angle will go over here. This angle will go there. And then once you do this, then you'll find that the center will be 2/2. It should be over here. And it will be, center is going to be 2/2. Okay. 2, 2. So the enlargement is in enlargement. The scale factor is going to be -1/3. Center is going to be 2, 2. Okay? Just like that, okay? Yes. That's why you need a tracing paper. Okay? You need a tracing paper. And you need straight lines. You need straight lines and a tracing paper. Because I'm on a computer and I can't really draw straight lines. So if you drew a straight line, the lines will directly join at here. They all intersect at this point, and you'll find out that this is the center of enlargement. Okay, moving on to question number 14. Work out the value of 16 over 81 and then 3/4 as a power. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is that we are going to get rid of this denominator of 4. So if I zoom it in, so you can see it now. So let me go. We probably can't see it now. So we need to get rid of this denominator here. We need to get rid of this 4 over here. Now what we do is that we do the opposite. So we are going to be when we do the opposite, we will do this. We will do the square of, we'll do basically that. Okay, on both sides, on both of these. So we'll get 2 and then 3, and then you're left with that 3 power on the top, and then you can do 2 cubed, which will be 8, and then 3 cubed will be 9. Okay, I mean 27. 27, and that you get 8 over 27. So I'm quickly going to do a poll. This is non-calculated, so I'm quickly going to do a poll. So if you guys understand, like at this point, does everyone understand how we got? We literally got through half of the paper now. So yeah. So okay, let's continue. Let's continue. So 3a is equal to 1 over 9, and 3b is equal to 9 root 3, and 3c is equal to 1 and over root 3. This is a 2018 paper. So we need to work out the value of a plus b plus c. Now, so we know that we can easily find out that 3, then 2 will be 1 over 9, right? Because if we do 3 squared, you'll get 9, and a negative indices means a reciprocal, so we know that a will be minus 2. Now we need to find out what b is. B will be, so if we do 3, so let's do c first, it looks a bit easier. So 3, the negative 1/2 will give us 1 and then root 3, because then what we need to do is do the square root. And then the reciprocal means, and the negative means we're going to do the reciprocal, and then the fractional power means that we're going to square root. Okay? Now that's the value. So minus 1/2 is c. Now we have to work out what b is. Now we can work out what b is. I think what I would do, is that we can write 9 as 3 squared, right? We can write 9 as 3 squared. And then we can write the square root of 3 as 3 half, right? 3 and then a power of half. Because if you do that, you will get new root 3. And that will be equal to 3, 2.5 because if you add them up, okay? Now that is going to be B. Now if you add them up, if you do A plus B plus C, you would get minus 2 plus the 2.5 minus 0.5 is equal to 0. Okay? And then you will get an answer of 0. That is just our value. So we're just going to put a big fat 0 there. Okay? Okay, question number 15. The three solid shapes A, B, and C are similar. The surface area of the shape A is 4 centimeters squared. The surface area of shape B is 25 centimeters squared. The ratio of the shape B to volume of shape C is 27:64. Work out the ratio of the height of shape A to the height of shape C. Give your answer in the simplest form. Now, first we're going to write the ratio to A to B, from A to B. Okay? A to B. The scale factor, area, so the area of A to B is 4 to 25, as it says in the question. And the length will be 2 to 5, okay? Now from B to C, the volume is 27 to 64. And the length will be 3 to 4. After we have done that, we got our two values of our length, I shall say, length. And we got 2 to 5 and 3/4 and 3 to 4. That's A to B and B to C. Now we need to make these the same, the B's the same. So we just multiply both of these, this by 3 and this by 5. And then you will get 6, 15, and then 6, 20. I mean 15, 20. And then you will write it as A to B to C. And A to B to C will be, if I quickly move over here, A to B to C will be 60, 15 to 20, and we only need the ratio of A to C, 60, 20, which will be 3 to 10. Simplify it. And that would be our answer. Okay? Now we need to prove algebraically that 0.25 recurring and 6 recurring can be written as 127 over 495. Okay? Now, this is the easiest question you could ever get. We can write 0.256, and these two are recurring. We can write it as x. We're just going to give it a variable, okay? That's what it means when we are doing it algebraically. We have to just give it a variable. So then, when we multiply it by 10, you will get 2.56 recurring is equal to 10x. And then you're going to do the same thing. You'll get 256.56 recurring, which will be equal to 1000x, right? Now, we need to make it a whole number. So, we try to make this a whole number, right? So, we're going to find 990x. So, what I would do is that I would divide by 1000 times by 990, and then you'll get 254. And then that could be written as x is equal to 254 over 990, which can be simplified to 127 over 495. That is the same as this, okay? So here is a sketch of a curve. The equation of the curve is y is equal to x squared plus ax plus b, where a and b are integers. The points 0 and -5 and 5, 0 line on the curve. Find the coordinates of the turning point of the curve. So we know that we have been given the equation of the curve, as you can see. Now what we need to do is that we just need to substitute the values of y and x into that. So I'll be substituting the value of 0 and -5, 0 and -5 into this equation right here. So I will get, y is -5 and x is equal to 0. Now I'll just substitute this into this equation. So going to be -5 is equal to 0 squared plus a and then 0 plus b. And then what you will get is that when we simplify this, you will get -5 is equal to b. Now, you will be wondering what happened to this a right here. This a right here, what happened to it? Because if it is 0 times a, you'll get 0, and that a is just gone because you multiplied it by 0, okay? Now we've got -5 is equal to b. Now, once you find the value of b, now we're going to do the same thing, but we have to find the value of a now, okay? Because we need to find the value of we need to find the value of a, okay? So we use our other coordinate to do this. So I'll rub this out now. So quickly rub this one out. Now we're going to use our other coordinate, which is going to be 5 and 0. Then y is going to be 0, and then x is going to be 5. So now I'm going to use the other equation, going to be 0 is equal to 5 squared plus a5 minus 5. And then when you simplify this, you'll get 0 is equal to 25 plus 5a minus the 5. And that will be equal to 0 is equal to 20 plus 5a. And then we rearrange it, you will get minus 20 is equal to 5a. And then a is equal to -4. Now we've got the values of a and b. Now we can finally write our equation out fully. So we can write y is equal, this is our equation, y is equal to x squared minus 4x minus 5. Now that is just our values a and b that we just discovered, okay? Then we'll use the method of completing the square. We will complete the square. So you halve the b value and you'll get y is equal to x minus 2 squared. And then you have an extra -4, then minus that 5, then you get y is equal to x minus 2 squared minus 9. And then you have this and this. So 2 and minus 9 is your answer, okay? So question number 18, the graph of y is equal to fx is shown on the grid below. On the grid above, sketch the graph of f is equal to x minus 2. Now, once it says x minus 2, it just means that we just need to do the same thing, but okay, I'll just give you some time to write this down, okay? You can take a screenshot if you want, and you can write it down later. What days do I do lives? I do live every single day. Okay, moving on. Now the graph of y is equal to fx is shown on the grid below. On the grid above, sketch the graph of y is equal to fx minus 2. Okay, how would we do it? It's always at 6 p.m. and then on the weekends would be 4. Okay, and then once we do this, it's going to be like that. And then it's going to be something like this. That'll be your graph, okay? Now, on the grid above, okay, now we've done that question, okay? On the grid, graph A has been reflected to give graph B. The equation of graph A is y is equal to gx, the equation of graph B is just going to be the opposite, so it's going to be y is equal to g and negative x, because we just did the opposite and we're going to add a negative to it, okay? Y is equal to g negative x. Question number 19. For all the values of x, show that g f x is equal to 2x plus 2. Okay, now g f x is equal to, we're going to replace the values of fx into this, so g f and then x is equal to 2, and another bracket, x plus 1 squared minus the 1. So we just added these two into this, okay? And then you would expand it. So we get 2x squared plus x 1 negative 1 minus 1. And then you simplify even more to get 2x squared plus 2x. And then you would factorize it even more to get 2x and then x plus 2. Okay? And once you have done that, that is technically our final answer. That is our final answer. Now find g with the power negative 1, 7. So we know that gx is equal to 2x minus 1. I'll go through it again later, okay? After this question, okay? Gx is equal to 2x minus 1. Now, we'll rearrange this. We just give this a value of y, so y is equal to 2x minus 1. And then you'll rearrange it to get x is equal to 2y minus 1. And then x over 2 equal to y minus 1. Then x over 2 plus the 1 equals to y. So, if I put this there, so g minus 1x is equal to x over 2 plus 1. So g minus 1, 7, will equal to 7 over 2 plus the 1, which would be 3.5 plus 1, which will give us 4.5. and that'll be your answer, okay? So you wanted me to repeat this question. So what we just did was that we just replaced the x this in here, and then we expanded it, and then we factorized, and then we got this, okay? Now I'll quickly do. We already have 3 more questions left, by the way. Show that the square root of 18 plus the square root of 2 squared is divided by square root of 8 minus 2, can be written in the form a bracket b plus the square root of 2, where a and b are integers. Okay. And now, whenever we get this type of question and people see there's so much space in here, there is so much space in here, they literally panic. They panic. Literally, they panic. And just treat it as a normal question and you just do it, okay? So, what we're going to do is that we're going to simplify it. We're going to simplify the third. So, we're going to simplify this. So, we will get a square root of 8 is equal to the square root of 4 times square root of 2, right? And then we convert the third to root 2. And then we do the same thing with the root 18. We'll get root 9 times root 2, and then we can write it as 3 root 2. And then we can do the same thing, right? And then we can write it as a simplified third. Write it again, 3 root 2 plus root 2 squared over 2 root 2 minus 2. Okay? Now we add it, because since these two thirds have the same base, we can add them. So we will get 4 root 2. So 4 root 2 squared divided by 2 root 2 minus 2. Now what we're going to do, then we're going to rationalize it. Rationalize it, I think is what it's called. And times it by, put it in the brackets. And we're going to times each of it by 2 square root 2 plus 2. And this by 2 root 2 plus 2 as well. And then you will get 64. After our long calculation, you will get 32. Then 2 root 2 plus 2. And then that 2 root 2 minus 2. And then 2 root 2 plus 2. And then after you have done that, you will get 64 root 2 plus 64, and then over 8 plus 4 root 2 minus 4 root 2 minus 4, and then you can see some of them cancel out. So you will then get 64 root 2 plus the 64 divided by 4. And then a final answer would be 16, 1 plus root 2. As you can see, is the exact form that we wanted it to be. Okay? So does everyone understand? Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question number 21 is OA and B is a triangle. OBM and ABN are straight lines. M is the midpoint of AB. O to A is equal to A and O to B is equal to B. The ratio is 3 to 2. Work out the ratio O to N to O to B. Now, I feel like we already did this type of question already. So this is going to be our last question, okay? It's going to be our last question for the higher paper, okay? It's going to be our last question, okay? But we're doing this last question, then live is going to end, okay? So, A to B is equal to minus A plus B, right? And then A to M is equal to minus half A plus half B. Then O to M will be equal to A minus half A plus half B. Only simplify, you will get half A plus half B. And then to find OP, you do 3, 5, half A plus half B, as it's a bigger, as you're doing the scale factor of the vector. And then you get 3, 10 A plus 3 and 3, 10 B. And then AP is equal to minus A plus 310A, 310A plus 310B. We just added them together. And then AN is equal to X minus 7, 10A plus 310B. So now, when you simplify it, you will get AN is equal to minus A plus KB. That is supposed to be a K, by the way. And then, we'll continue over here. So we're trying to find the ratio O to N to N to B. So like, do not be confused when I'm doing all of this working out, okay? So minus 7 over 10 is X is equal to negative 1, so X will equal to 10 over 7. And then B, it will be 3 over 10. X is equal to K. And then K will be equal to 3 over 7. And then O to N will be equal to 37B. Whilst N to B will be equal to 47B. And we put it into 37 to 47. You put it as a ratio, we get 3 to 4. Okay? So that is going to be the final question we're going to be doing for this live. So I hope you guys enjoyed this paper. If you want to watch this live again, this live will be a video on my YouTube channel. The link will be in the bio, in my profile bio, and you can see it over there. If you didn't understand stuff, you can watch that video and then you can go over it again. So don't forget to come back to my live tomorrow and have a nice evening.